Come on, guys. It's a hot topic. Get the numbers up. Let's get going. Come on. Analysts asked to talk about issues that are happening in the country, and nobody's exception. So let's get the numbers up before we get into the nitty-gritties. Good evening. Shala. Those that believe in my work will remain with me. Those that don't will go. But we are not going to be apologetic for standing on our principles and what we believe in. So good evening, guys. Let's get the numbers up because we are going to be candid. Okay? I existed. I gave analysis and I'll continue to do so. So let's get the numbers up before we get talking. So good evening. My name, in case you're following for the first time, my real name is Beverley Kunda Mo. Okay? I go by the name Chair, the Voice of Zambia. And I am Zambia's top political analyst. And that I shall continue doing, regardless of who comes into power, because the truth must be told all the time. And no politician is exceptional to not provide checks and balances, whether you're in opposition or whether you're in the ruling government. Why am I saying so? We are fighting for a better Zambia. Okay? And the reason why we're fighting for a better Zambia because we've seen that President Hakainde Hichilema was a wrong choice that we made in 2021. He's taken away our freedoms of expression. He stopped everyone from talking. He's been arresting oppositions on political grounds. Now, what we need to understand about these elections is just not a matter of bringing someone in because we want to get rid of Hakainde Hichilema. It's about bringing somebody credible, one who's going to respect the constitution of our country. The first thing that we are fighting for this country is the constitution of this republic. And that you need to understand that no politician, and I mean no politician, is exempted from checks and balances, regardless whether you're in ruling or you're in opposition. And that's where I stand. I've always been clear on my stance. And when the time comes of me becoming a leader in our country, I will not be exceptional from you guys providing checks and balances because that's the only way we can hold every leader accountable. And that's the only way we can begin to develop our country. And that is where I come in. For now, I analyze politics. For now, I castigate politicians. Because the Constitution provides me to do so. I am entitled to my own political opinions. You are entitled to yours. I mean, if it means that your political opinions is to insult me, it is your entitlement. And I don't want to be a leader that insults back. Tit for tat. No. My vision is to become a leader of this republic. Now, if I constantly start insulting back, I'm not different. You understand? I want to create an environment where women are respected in politics. There's this saying in politics, however, that when a woman speaks with so much authority, a woman is regarded as she's too emotional. Okay? This is why women are not in politics, because they are too emotional. This is the kind of society that women in politics are subjected to. And it is a narrative that I want to change, that even a woman can become a pistol. Because when a man speaks with so much authority in politics, he's a pistol. That is a man. But when it comes to a woman, oh no, she's too emotional. Women are too emotional. But that narrative has to change. That narrative of looking at a woman when she's a pistol, that she's emotional, has to change. And that is where I stand. Because, look, when I say something, which is my political opinion, and your response is you insulting or degrading me or calling me a bitch, a slut, or whatever, it means now that is emotional. But if you come to me and say, hang on a minute, Why are you saying this? I think you are wrong. So maybe, how about you look it into this angle now? We are having a debate. A very good, healthy debate. So this is the reason why you've never seen me insult. Because my vision is a long-term goal. It is not just about getting any person in power. It is about me creating an environment, an enabling environment that those women that are growing up and are seeing me, they look up to me and say, if Chair can do it, so can I. I want women not to be afraid to join politics because they'll be labeled prostitutes, because they'll be labeled emotional. Nah, I want those women that are growing up today to understand that you can be a pistol just like a man. You can hold your position in politics without you feeling that you're going to be reduced to your sexuality. And you can stand out and you can be a leader. And one day, I want this country to have a female president. It could be me. It could be anyone else in our country. But how do you... President Titus Chiluba once said, be careful what you say on social media. Because one day it might come to bite you. One day you might become a leader. And there are ways that you utter on social media will come to bite you. And that is why I don't insult. I've taken in blows and punches and insults and whatsoever. You've never seen me insult. However, I've provided checks and balances. Okay? However, I've stood with you, the people of Zambia, from the time immemorial. So when I talk about Brian Mundubile, for example, I don't hate Brian Mundubile. Brian Mundubile is a politician like any other politician. And therefore, is not exempted from me providing my analysis on Brian Mundubile. And then it's not exempted from me providing my own political opinion on Brian Mundubile because the Constitution provides that I do so. And if I believe that is not the best candidate for our country, it is incumbent upon me as an analyst of our country to say, I don't think he's the best. I've never insulted Brian Mundubile. However, I've exposed certain hidden agendas. Like, for example, the topic tonight is about his arrest yesterday. And the reason I decided to talk about this arrest of Brian Mundubile is because I cannot let this night pass where now people want to jump on what's trending. 2 days ago, I did a live, a very powerful live, which was targeting the UPND convention. After that live, what we saw is that DEC has gone and raided Edgar Chagwalungu's home. And for me, I saw that as a way of trying to what? To distract people from UPND going for a convention. I was looking at the ECZ calendar. And nominations for presidents are on the 25th of April. Now, UPND have not gone for a convention. And they've been exposed to say by UPND. UPND is a party that without power, it is done, it is gone. Okay? But they'll always try to find means and ways to distract Imomwe Bantu from the real issues that are happening. The biggest issue that we should be talking about right now is the fact that UPND, President Hakainde Hichilema, is no longer UPND president. Raise these issues by they themselves, the UPND, within their political circles. And President Hakainde Hichilema is afraid to go for a convention. That is the biggest issue. If we are having a party which is in ruling right now in government, failing to uphold its own constitution, of which all the people at the Registrar of Society, office bearers' names have expired, and President Hakainde Hichilema's tenure as UPND president expired, and we as a people, we need to be focusing on that and ensuring that this party that is in government, that wants to continue governing this country, must stick to ensure that they promote democracy within their political inter-party elections. That's the only way we can guarantee that these people that are supposedly to respect the constitution of our country can respect the constitution of our country, because we've seen examples where they respect their own constitution. This is what we should be talking about right now. But you know, UPND know the gullibility of us Zambians, that we can jump on any trend. And that is why in Nepal once, I framed that arrest as fake. Because there are more important issues in our country that we, the people of Zambia, must be focusing on, and especially the UPND convention. And Nama Crack said UPND. Because I never about UPND, very stage, but you know, because I'm a pistol, they want to reduce me to where a woman will be subjected to be. You're so emotional. And that I refuse to be categorized in that. And the reason I've said I've refused, I've not responded to the insults. I'm being insulted by my fellow women. But you see, no matter what you do, the most important, powerful thing that I have is my brains. And I'm a brains. For me to do anything. I just don't speak from without. I calculate. Everything that I've uttered in this country comes to pass. I'll give you an example of what just happened yesterday. Yesterday, the issue surrounding Brian Mundubile was that he's arrested Pakia. He was about to fly out, but Brian Mundubile came in Muchbemba. Why enough Mapakia to fly out? And according to Bachsanga, who happens to be Brian Mundubile's directors, Atama directors, umuntu afiraranga chinga. Umuntu kufsoporola. Life kula enda na intampulo, and I'm not scared of anybody. Your duty is to insult. My duty is a bigger duty to make sure the nation is aware of what is happening in our country. So I will not respond to insults. Rather, I will take it up a notch. Because you know what? Whether you like it or not, I am chair, the voice of Zambia. I am a woman among men. And I am a woman who has stood the test of time. That you cannot take away from me. God spent a little time on me. And on that I appreciate, because indeed in a new movie, I went gonna look at teaching go kwakaba. But the sasa munata kakari tumpa karekeni kapero usuma. So na waka shoba abantu bala kano ko batu beperef. Bufu wo waland. God did not give me riches, but what I'm mostly thankful about is that God gave me the brains. I'm not thankful. I'm thankful about the beauty, but I don't use beauty to my advantage. What is in there is what I appreciate. And that's what I intend to use. So, Mairo, therefore, before she ambo grande by Mundubile, kwana ko 1K. So, share amwakwana ko 769. And benu kwana pay 1K, because the truth must be told. And chair is not intimidated. Don't think if you insult me, you deter me from speaking. Wobufyu. Ba you PND body poa ukuntuka na alisuba. Maybe this is why in demone kelange chibiongo. Because maybe the insult you understand? Ama insult zele station yale telela. Watu kana ya itika ya telela. Mwaimo. So let's go and reach 1K, because I want to walk you through. I've always told you that I'll tell you, I told you so. I told you so. Because you see, I want to tell you what exactly we were told last night. And this is on KBN TV. Okay? And I'm going to read it to you. Mwanfa. Ndefwa tu soporore arrest ya ba Mundubile. What is it in it? What is really going on? Is it a fake arrest? Is it a real arrest? And where does this leave the Zambian people? These are proper questions in politics that we ought to ask as a people. We are 4 months away in voting for a leader that will take over from Hakainde Hichilema. How do we choose a leader if we don't check these leaders? These are the questions we need to be asking ourselves. Because Ukuleta ba akainde ichima ya dini fluku. Ba UPNG ba wine na propaganda. Is that what we want to subject ourselves to again? You hear people, the Mundubile supporter says, the campaign by ECL. Mamona, something I've never denied. Something I've accepted. Something me and ECL laughed about. And I told him, sir, what brought you down in FNI again is not your policies and whatever, but the cadres. But you see, my UPND crafted the propaganda so bad, such that everyone believed that PF was a bad party, Edgar Chagwalungu was a bad president. Such that we voted for Akainde Ichima, Pabufi. And he has continued to lie in office. Momona, the reason I started doing political analysis is because I discovered that what we did in 2021 was wrong. We brought in somebody who lied to get to office and has continued to lie to us. So I started doing my political analysis so that you have a different aspect. So when we choose a leader, we are not going to fall in the same trap. And I've done that consistently. I've done that consistently without fear or favor. And I've not been shaken regardless. Even by Edgar Chagwalungu Bafwa, I've not been shaken. And that's where I stand. What kind of a leader are we going to usher into office on 13th of August 2021? Is it a leader that will protect your rights? Is it a leader that will not lie themselves into office? Is it a leader that will respect people's opinion and accept critics? Because what we are seeing here, when you talk about Brian Mundubile, it's like, you can't talk about Brian Mundubile. He's untouchable, but Brian Mundubile is a politician. And is subjected to checks and balances like any other politician. And we shouldn't be afraid because we'll be insulted by his supporters. Because then these supporters, they are not different from the praise singers. Because the exact same thing that happens when you criticize Hakainde Hichilema is the exact same thing the supporters are exhibiting. Where they cannot take in the view. Where they're going to demean somebody who's got a different opinion. Okay? But let me walk you through the events. Let me walk you through the events. Yesterday, when Brian Mundubile was detained at the airport, okay, this is what we got. Let me read this. And this was not coming from me. This was coming from they themselves, the Mundubile supporters. By no other than the spokesperson. Other than a spokesperson, Vachisanga, who is a lawyer, was on the media saying why Brian Mundubile was arrested. And here was what was written by KBN TV reporter. I read and I quote, exclusive. Details of the airport interrogation reveals why Mundubile has been detained. This is an article by KBN TV, given to us by the Tonsa media, as well as the spokesperson of Brian Mundubile, who happens to be Council Chisanga. I read and I quote, it has emerged that the police interrogations of Brian Mundubile at the airport wanted to establish allegations that he was planning activities likely to destabilize the country. Now, just on there, we have a situation where politicians have been charged with espionage simply for conducting an interview with a named station in Zimbabwe. Those politicians happen to be Rafael Nakachinda, Fred Membe, including Edini Neshru Tuakwata Tayani. Who else? By Emmanuel Mwamba. Because these are the people that gave an interview. And there was a charge surrounding the arrest of them to say because they conducted that interview, they are going to be charged with espionage. Now, this is an article by KBN TV. And the article says, allegations that Brian Mundubile was going to destabilize the country. Now, I want you to understand this analysis. I want you to get to understand that this is coming from they themselves, the Tonsa media, as well as the spokesperson of Brian Mundubile. It's not coming from me. I wasn't there. They gave the public this. And that was why he was detained. Now listen to this. It gets interesting, eh? It gets very, very interesting. Hang on a minute. Let me see who's texting me. Okay. Right. So I'll start that. It has emerged that police interrogations of Brian Mundubile at the airport wanted to establish allegations that he was planning activities likely to destabilize the country. Those such activities that plan to destabilize the country, they fall under espionage or treasonous offenses. Okay? Now listen to this. The Brian Mundubile team, okay, during the airport interrogation confirmed to KBN TV that police queried him on when he last spoke to Mwata Kazembe, who's my chief in Wapura province, Vowden Findley, who happens to be the friend to ECL, Sparks Mining, who is labeled as a PF. You remember last time I spoke to Sparks Mining, I was warning him to say they'll come for you. Okay? Mulan konka bwinoko mpanga analysis yandi. Then, former intelligence DG Sevia Chungu, Moses Katumbi, and former DRC President Joseph Kabila, and therefore Mumfui Kishapa. The Mundubile team, present during the airport interrogation, confirmed to KBN TV that police queried him on when he last spoke to Bamwata Kazembe, Vowden Findley, Sparks Mining, former Intelligence Director General Sevia Chungu, Moses Katumbi, and the former DR President Joseph Kabila. Now listen to this. Plainclothes police officers who introduced themselves as having come from intelligence asked Mundubile if he knew a village called Kashowe in DRC, to which he refuted any knowledge of that place. By mentioning Kashowe, asking when he last spoke to Mwata, it appears the officers were trying to bring His Royal Highness as a link between Mundubile and Katumbi. A source close to interrogation told KBN TV. Now the source is the Mundubile team. Okay? Not any other politician. Not any other opposition politician. Their own media team. Hang on. Right, okay. Their own media team were talking to KBN TV. Not anybody else, not me. They themselves. Now listen to this. Lionel, what is it? Why are you batushing things? Right. In his response, Mundubile refuted having held any such talks. Or planning any activities that would destabilize the nation. Sources say police are planning to slap him with seditious practices and hate speech. But since they moved him from the airport to Ibex, they have not formally arrested or charged him with any offense as at 11 p.m. A member of his legal team indicated that authorities were still debating whether to detain him overnight or release him so that he can be presented properly after police call out. We are concerned that they moved him from the airport to Ibex Hill without a call out, one lawyer told KBN TV. This has been police reinforcement as Mundubile supporters continue to swell in numbers chanting, "We want peace." Now let me tell you who was giving us information. I'm going to play this video. Hang on. Let's just listen to Kanso Chisanga now so that we understand. Let's just listen to the information that was given us by no other than the media team. And that includes Binwe Mpundu, Lunte MP, Mtotakafuaya, who were giving their views. But first, before we do that, let's listen to Kanso Chisanga.
Joining us, just kind of guide us to what exactly is going on here in as far as this alleged detention of Honorable Mundubile is concerned, and really what have been the reasons or grounds given as to why he's found himself here at Ibex Hill Police Station.
Right. This issue started from the Kenneth Kunda International Airport.
Let's listen very well.
I was scheduled to fly out at the invitation of some of our Tonse Alliance and BMA project collaborators, in a country where I was supposed to have traveled. Unfortunately, he was pulled out of the traveling manifest by what we were informed were the office of the president. And they kept him, in solitary confinement in the VVIP lounge, and were asking him all manner of questions, bordering on some conduct that they were suggesting were criminal. They were asking him why he has been having meetings with Mr. Bowden Findlay, why he has been having phone discussions with the Mwata, why he has been having phone discussions with the former president of DRC, Joseph Kabila, and several other prominent people that he has not even contacted in the recent past. He declared that some of the people that we were mentioning, he doesn't even have their phone numbers, he doesn't even know them. You see, when we arrived at the airport, we sought to give him legal counsel, and those who were interrogating him, also they were saying they were just interviewing him, refused to have him access to his lawyers. So he had then decided not to cooperate because the lawyers that arrived at the airport, they were still not willing to allow them to come and sit next to him. So after the 4-hour ordeal there, they then decided to bring him to Twimpam police station. What we informed there was that they were going to come and do some formalities and we do an arrest. We've been here for the past 2.5 hours. As I'm speaking to you now, they haven't even started doing the one and caution statement. What they were saying was that we were so many of us here and it was very difficult for them to start working. This crowd is very small and it's very cooperative. But anyway, we cooperated with them. We told the crowd to move the distance from the police station, and I'm hoping now that they're going to start, doing their interrogation or doing their one and caution statement. The only information that has been given to me as a lead counsel for the team is that they want to question him on what they think is seditious practices and hate speech. There is nothing they have given us in terms of detail on what these crimes actually comprise. And our expectation is that the police are going to just cooperate. This is an individual who is the leader of the biggest opposition in the country. He has freedoms just like everybody else has freedoms. And the normal way to try and bring somebody to the police station would have been for them to issue a call out with him, rather than waylay him at the airport and have him first detained at the airport for 4 hours, and they are interrogating him in a fashion that suggests that he has committed very serious crimes like terrorism and treason.
I'm not the one. You need to understand, it's not me saying this.
They decide now to collapse the charges.
This information
is obscure as the seditious practice and hate speech. We know that these are the offenses that are created specifically for opposition leaders, particularly presidents, and we are thinking that this is what they want to do. But I've had a chat with Honorable Mundubile, President Mundubile. He is not deterred. He is not even intimidated. He is actually in jovial spirits. He's speaking very well to the police officers. He's actually very shocked that they could have put him through this kind of ordeal when there's nothing that he has done that suggests any criminality.
Now, that's very interesting. Now, that was coming. That's the spokesperson for Brian Mundubile. What is interesting, though, what is mind-blowing, no, is what the police has released now and the charge they've given by Brian Mundubile. Now, 2 months ago, when I was begging the team of Brian to say, please, stop attacking my candidate. Let's concentrate on selling each other's candidate. I think I'm going to remind you that this feud that is happening, I didn't start it. It was started by the Mundubile team. And the only thing that I did at the time was beg them to say, guys, let's not go this route. Because when we go to this route, Nefia alala munda, fika sokoloka. And I begged and begged, but they did not listen. They've attacked me just like the UPND, and I've never insulted any one of them. I've continued to do my political analysis. And I've not attacked them. I've just presented facts of the matters. Why, Monica? There was a reason I was begging them to say, can you please stop? They did not stop. Okay? People said that I've never insulted ECL. I provided checks and balances to ECL. Just like I'm doing to HH. That's what I'm doing to Mundubile. And anybody, any other politician. Remember that, give me one screenshot or one video where I insulted ECO. My videos are there on YouTube. Mushatrit. When I was on YouTube. So don't come here. Mulevande chinka. Na adimilombere ine. Na milomba. Lekeni shefo mlechta because ukumwaya. This is a one-woman commando. Tetu mungwanishe. Mwamonaka. Timwa isabari 100. I will take you on. Maimon. You cannot intimidate me. But UPND tried. With the entire media of UPND, they tried. They failed. Ask my UPND. Number. So what if you will? The truth will always catch us. I mean, remember, it's shinka the chikara. It might be slow, but it will catch up with the lies. 2-3 months ago, when I was begging you, I told you about Munyaule page. Let's get there now to Munyaule page. I even said Chandanonde, of which Chandanonde was now my WhatsApp blog, insulting me, denying the fact that he was behind Munyaule page. The very Munyaule page that constantly insulted you. So you wonder why I don't support Mundubile. It trickles down to Edgar Chagwalungu. Because if we have put Koswe in State House, how can then we get Munyaule in State House? If you stretch Tamchalo Chesi Zambia, if Koswe is in State House and Koswe constantly attacks people in the opposition, especially, but French member, but we know who runs Koswe. Frederick Masibenzi. Now Brian Winga, who are exactly at State House. So when I said about leave it, let's not attack each other, I told you to say, when ECL discovered who Brian Mundubile was, but ECL decided to remove himself from Brian Mundubile. Even at the time ECL was dying, ECL did not speak to Brian Mundubile. When I said that Munyaule page was run by no other than Chandanonde, and Brian Mundubile was behind Munyaule page, I want to read a statement by the Zambia police on why they've arrested Brian Mundubile. I want to read a statement by the Zambia police. I never Zambia police. Okay? But I also want to tell you later when I read this statement. Okay? Let me just read what Brian Mundubile has been charged with. Chandanonde is innocent. And what I was bringing is confusion. When I evidently told the supporters to say, if you're from Lesh Talekane, and when I brought out the video is there, I kept that video for future reference to say, Nalimiel, I told you so. The police now, instead of anything surrounding what they wanted to charge him yesterday, they've now charged Brian Mundubile with this. Listen to this. This is the Zambia police. Arrest of Honorable Brian Mutayarwa Mundubile for alleged cyber-related offenses. This is from Zambia police. Not in a yo, but Zambia police. This is what they have charged Brian Mundubile with. Listen to this. March 20th, 2026. The Zambia Police Service has formally charged and arrested Honorable Brian Mutayalwa Mundubile, age 55 of Lusaka, for the offense of aiding, betting, and counseling to commit hate speech. Contrary to Section 55, as read with Section 65 of the Cybersecurity Crimes Act number 2 of 2021 of the laws of Zambia. Brief facts of the matter are that between February 8, 2023 and January 31st, 2025, Honorable Brian Mundubile, allegedly acting in concert with another individual, is suspected to have aided and cancelled the operation of Facebook page known as Munyaule Zambia by providing both content and financial support to Chandanon, identified as the page's administrator. This is not me. This is the Zambia police. And then they say, the page is alleged to have published malicious and hateful content targeting various individuals over a sustained period of time. The suspect was warned and cautioned in June 2025 and was arrested yesterday, March 19th, in Lusaka, 2026. Now here's the gist. When did I post about Chandanon? The post. Let me just find. Post about Munyaule page. I think I have them. The police are said, but Brian Mundubile was arrested, was warned and cautioned in 2025, but they just came to arrest him a year later. Now here is the Tapari nefia heta pa. Fintu balela ndabe nebeka ba. You by Brian Mundubile supporters. Now Antoine kan. Now police. Me, I'm just analyzing. But I want to tell you the real issue here. The real story here. Let me tell you the real story. But first, before I tell you the real story. Wait. Let me go back. Munyaule. Mwana ntari kapadi munyaule. Tamwana ntari kaimwe. Tamwana ntarika. Who was lying?
Yeah. Anyway.
Now we all know that Munyaule was publishing content to Haka in the Ichlema and President Edgar Chagurungu. And I question to say, where does this page stand? Why is it that it's both attacking Haka in the Ichlema and President Edgar Chagurungu? Who runs this page? Okay? 2023. This was a post by Munyaule. Munyaule Zambi. People who leave PF. People will leave PF. It will be shocked west of majority Zambians can't trust Lungu. The damage and lack of discipline was too much. Monfa. This is the Munyaule page. Listen to this. Lungu must think twice about his ambitions. When he remains without a party, HH will cut off his legs. HH is not like former president like Arabi, Mwanawasa and Churuba. No, he is brutal. He is ruthless. He should be very worried because the party will not be there. Let him stay away. The cheap people going to him are nothing. Lungu must rest and do the right thing. Otherwise, he will have himself to blame. Even the same MPs. Now, this is Munyaule. Even the same MPs, he will be shocked, will rise against him, strip off his immunity, and will go to jail. Already, Sande Chanda is gone and can vote for Lungu's immunity removal. In summary, Bembas are very delicate people. Don't push them to erupt. You will regret. Which Bembas? Which Bembas? Don't push them. You will regret. Now, this is about a former Republican president. I don't care, the truth must be told. And the truth, because again, life has proven me to be right, to be on the right side of the path. The truth must be told whether mutukane, muitukana, mutashani. It is written. Something that is written cannot be denied. It is there on social media. It is in plain black and white. Whether you insult, you don't insult. Chair must analyze and chair must tell the truth. Now let me hear Mwadeka. You are refusing. Mama. On 14 February 2025, Chandanonde was arrested. And they said 5 days ago, Zambia police in collaboration with Zikta picked up a pro-Edgar Chagwalungu Kada Chandanonde in connection with running a rogue media page, Munyaure page. Is it just coincidence that Munyaure page has also not posted anything in the last 5 days? Or did the police get the right person? Chandanonde was arrested. But Brian Mundubile is on record looking for Chandanonde. Even giving interviews on Chandanonde. In a brain and you might forget I don't. I'm even telling you, I'm a date. You're forgotten. This thing happened 3 years ago in 2023. The big question is, what is the real arrest behind Brian Mundubile? Is it really Munyaule Page? Because if it was really Munyaule Page, they could have arrested him a long time ago. Hang on. Okay, I'm coming. And burgers. Eh? Yeah, I can make some. Alright, Pookie. Let me finish this, then we can nip out. Go grab some drink. Right. See how this thing, our numbers here upon. So I'm back. Let's finish where we left from. Keep on sharing and let the numbers go back. One achibuka, so I have to sort one out. Our advice could take, if you guys are gonna make a decision in August and you want to fumble it, at least I will still be here and told you, remember that life that I did? I told you so. Mwemwe. When the Mundubile abantu basa mukunanika, ero shakala mi broke. Because in therefore Africa mission, nge fine munyaule ya mishinina. Okay? I told you that munyaule was what? Was insulting the former Republican president. Now, if indeed the way you are claiming to say, President Lungu left to Brian Mundubile, you are even shameless to use ECO's name. But you are in the forefront to insult President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. And Munyaule was not only insulting President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, they were also insulting President Hakainde Hichilema. That is why for me, I said Brian Mundubile is a UPND project. Because you see, this happened 3 years ago. The Munyaule thing happened 3 years ago. And whether you like it or not, even if you decide to defend it and whatsoever, the truth is staring you right in your eyes. First of all, the UPND themselves started supporting Brian Mundubile. We questioned to say, why is it that the UPND are flaunting this candidate? Where have you seen a UPND when they're scared of a candidate, they front him? The UPND will attack and insult a candidate who poses a threat to Hakainde Hichilema. The reason I'm saying this is because even Gary Komba within the UPND party poses a threat to Hakainde Hichilema. What have they done? They've reduced Gary Komba to nothing. Like he doesn't exist. They fired him. So the question that we were asking is that, why is it that the likes of Siawan, the likes of Matomola, even Watchdog, Nabena Koswe, were all fronting this candidate? And I told you about separating of the PF structures. Whether you take it or you leave it, the truth must be told. And you cannot intimidate me. The UPND started fronting Brian Mundubile. And we questioned, why is it? Because if the UPND were ready to arrest Brian Mundubile for seditious practices against cyber crimes of 2021, the very time they arrested and discovered that Chandan only is Brian Mundubile's proxy on Munyaule page, why did the UPND not bring that charge? The fact that they brought charge against the likes of Nakachinda, who right now is in jail. When I posted about the bail condition, people were supporting, no, he was given bail, and then the bail that has been denied is the bail right to appeal. The fact is, it's been denied. bail. When I was given that time, the fact is, the matter is that he applied for the bail when he appealed and it's been denied. Now, this is the UPND government. If people have been sent to jail and arrested on the premise that they've been providing hate speech against the cybercrime, why did UPND wait for 3 years? Or indeed for a year later to come and bring this charge against Brian Mundubile? And this is where the fake arrest comes in. When I say that this was a fake arrest, nishichibiongo nachipishamo peni kare, nachia ku 2023, chaya ku 2021, chawera chaisa mu 2025, eno chasa fileta fiance, no kuisa fikumbala, no chasa for a root cause. To make things understand, to make people understand. But even that is really making sense now. No, wait, it has not yet made sense. Munkonke buino sana, reach 1K so that I can tell you how it's making even more sense later. Mwanfa? Narimye, you should have left me alone. You should have listened when I said stop it. But you didn't want. You wanted us to go down this route. But the fact of the matter is that me, I'm not even lying against anybody. Me, I'm presenting facts, facts that are written, facts that are on social media. And I'm not insulting anybody. So listen to this. Last year, last year I told you there's this plan of destabilizing the PF structures. And there are stooges within PF that Hakainde Ichilema is trying to use. It's not only Brian Mundubile alone. There are other stooges of which sooner or later you're going to discover that they were all drinking in the same cup. Monfu. Ati chabu fichi. Akuna nena tinjuabu fi. Ine dem yeba nama dates. So uwa ufi ni nani? Uwa ufi ni nani? Ine ni mieba 23. This post, in fact, let me even tell you more posts that were said about Edgar Chagwarungu. Fact, to question. Change question. Ngakuf pasa tuf pasa. Because when I'm speaking and you think I'm lying, I'll give you more. Okay? Nice. Munyawi, where are you? Therefore, I'm going conclusion. I'm gonna go 800. Let's go up. Let's continue going up. I want you to understand the exact thing that is going on. The kind of mingaraton we talked about. One for. They've infiltrated PF. And they're using stooges. This one. This was Munyaule 6 July 2023. Ni picture yaba Lungui. Ni picture yaba Edgar Chagwarungu. Monfa. I want you to understand the people that surrounded Edgar Chagwarungu. This is Munyaule. This is a picture of President Edgar Chagwarungu. Let me read what was written. 6 July 2023. 3 years ago. The biggest problem Lungu has is that he has no natural wisdom and thinks people want him to be president again, but never in our country again. Lungu is dead. You want me to go to the eligibility? How they treated Edgar Chagwarungu like he's a commoner. They couldn't even stand for his eligibility. Na remember that Lungu. Bonse tukakupirwa humo. Na alimyewe na Lungu. I will keep that man's legacy and the truth must be told. That's what I'm for Lungu. Monfa, you can claim to love him. You don't even speak of him. Most of you have moved on. This is Munyaule that wrote this. I will repeat it. Monfa imwe. And this is why I exist. I told you. Listen to this. The biggest problem Lungu has is that he has no natural wisdom and thinks people want him to be president again, but never in our country again. Now listen to this. We have seen a push of Lungu coming back from different angles. The past week, we have seen the likes of EPP President Chirufya Tayani, who has been a Mundubile supporter. Mulango Fonderanda. Who has been whose supporter? A Mundubile supporter. This is Munyaure that wrote this. Switch to pushing Lungu to come back. And that shows that somehow it could be even Mundubile and other leaders that are pushing the same agenda, but we will find out and give you proper position on this one. Today we will sleep at Lungu's house. This is Munyaule, 2023. Lungu must know that regardless of what Findlay and his gang of criminals tell him and massage him, Lungu is history. And let him not even think what happened in Brazil. What happened in Brazil can happen here. Never. Lungu has the same problem of surrounding himself with dandaes. Just look at the people he's found with. We as Zambian cannot have Lungu rule us for 13 years. Surely how down can one be that of all millions of Zambians, Lungu should still think is needed in that country? We here in Europe have seen our leaders lose and move on. No matter how many times Tarsila will cry, the father will never be president. Zambia is not your family business. Forget. Why can't you learn from Uhuru Kenyatta? Learn to think and accept defeat. This is Munyaule, Chandanonde, aided by Brand Mundubile. No matter how many mistakes Hakainde Ichilema can make, Zambians would rather go for Membe or Kalaba, not Lungu. The other problem is Lungu has never realized how poor and weak leader he was in that our country. We know he has been having dark corner meetings with Findlay and cheating themselves that we have China, Russia, South Africa, Angola, countries supporting us, so Lungu will win. We will try and see how your end will be. People will blow your head off. Just wait. People will blow your head off. Just wait. Lungu died 5th of June 2025. This is Munyaule, and you want me, Cheya, to forget everything. That's why I say even if Makebi moves today and goes to Mundubile, I will remain. I will remain. I will remain as chair, the voice of Zambia, the top analyst. I will not move. This. How blind can you be? How blind that UPND can toss you around. They can come into you if you treat your own political party when your leader, using the same people that betrayed your leader. How can you say they will blow your head off? And today the UPND have told us, the police, the people behind Munyaule was Brian Mundubile and Chandanonde. And you want me to clap for what Makebi did? Good. Oh, solidarity. Solidarity. Because if Makebi is not careful, the same thing might happen to what happened to ECR. Because these are the people that surrounded ECR. So you think, oh, I should not cascade Makebi. No. I would rather Njifumiemo. And if Makebi wants to go Muchirindi, let him go Muchirindi alone. But me, I will remove myself. Mama, all in the name of unity. If President Edgar Chagwa Lungu came into active politics, tried to unite people, and could not do so, and he died, Makebi actually thinks he will unite the opposition. You actually think Makebi will unite the opposition. You want to go there, kikiri, as if you don't know about these things. And you want Chair to start clapping. Oh, yes, Makebi, unity. In the process, Makebi is throwing us under the bus. Because what he did is threw us under the bus. Right now, who's getting the bruises? Who's getting the insults from the Mundubile camp? Us. Rooney, Nachirima, Ine, and everyone else who's supporting Makebi. Because we tend to look stupid. I told you that even if I'm supporting Makebi, you cannot save a leader by licky the leader. You have to tell the leader, and if that leader does not listen, there's no good leader. If I see Makebi going to the ditch, I should just let him because he's my president. Let him. No! I should stand and tell him, look, let me remind you that there was someone there before you. Before you came, there was ECL. And what happened to ECL is this that I'm reading to you, the people of Zambia. The very people that were surrounding ECL led ECL to the ditch. They said they'll blow your head off. Today we are hearing the people that were behind these pages is Mundubile and Chandanond. And you want us to clap solidarity. Solidarity. Which solidarity? If ECL did not bring the opposition together, you actually think you'll bring the opposition together? Are you serious? You're going in the lion's den and you want Chair to clap. Oh, Kaibi, I'm supporting you. I should support Ine. Go in the ditch alone. If you want, go in the ditch alone. Go! If you want to join Mundubile, tell your supporters so that we know. Chop! Unit. Listen to this. Sata started the party alone and countries came on board. So your connection are non-issues. To say the least, let PF choose Kambwidi, etc. Zambians will be liberated, not Lungu. It is a failed project and the day your team will fly to come and vote for HH, why should Lungu think Zambia is to hell? Wait. There is more. Hang on.
So, going to Mnyaure.
Remember this life? This was posted Mnyaure. Listen Listen to what I said. This is a video 4 years ago.
You still want to continue bashing him, what, and that's why, we need someone somewhere has to protect, or has to stand up for him. But president, know where your limits, what your limits are. Not just going with the flow because you want to buy someone, you want likes and things like that. So anyway, that's Munyaule. But I want to post something to entertain you.
This page was posted by Munyaule themselves when I want them to stop insulting President Edgar Chagwa. Okay? And Munyaule even laughed. Little did I know that the people behind Munyaule was Chandanonde and Babran Mundubile. I only came to discover later when Bailungu discovered as well. And we were all shocked. This is another post by Munyaule. Lungu is out. That's after eligibility. Lungu is out. Judgment on the Chief Justice table says he is not eligible as media houses get paid to rub it in on the Zambians. The judgment to be read. Now this judgment was not even read yet, but Munyaule had the judgment. The judgment to be read on the 10th about Edgar Chagwa Lungu's eligibility is finally done. Judges have isolated Article 106 from all other articles to disqualify Lungu. Judges spoken to simply commented. Before the eligibility case, judges, and today you want to come and tell us, no, this person is not a project of UPND. This is Munyaure. How did Munyaure know of the judgment and which judge did they speak to? Judges spoke and simply commented, it's just politics, nothing like law. We are simply doing what a politician wants. Meanwhile, private media houses owners yesterday were called for a meeting where government is set out a plan on how to launch Lungu's eligibility case on Zambians. Some Americans from Joe Biden camp have also come on board. Money exchanges between government and media houses, some getting as much as 300,000 kwacha to drive their agenda. On the other hand, Lungu's camp have a very serious plan to make sure he is on the ballot, and sources indicate Trump must join the fight. It may be messy for Aka in the Ichle Masum. This was Munyaure. Not me, I'm just reading. Okay? So, now, let's get now, fast forward, because I need to go now. Because one now, I need to go. Fast forward. Mula extagate now akutendeka. Because inama dates yabo. Nshilaba inende bukisha. Ngamwandekerefi. Whether you call me bitter, you station, the truth is there for everybody. Any Zambian ukwete fena lesara kampingu wakwe knows the truth. And that truth is what is there. Bafada bala tumapa wrong time. Bafada. Njilaivu, tamule tamba. Ewa nene madama, bafada mule tumapa wrong time. Bafada, apanti mu, haigi ya bafada. Badi inkrambira peji, tamumara. Searching anyone ansanga. Apanti mu haigi ya bafada chileseka. My father. Inenshila. And me, I don't do petty politics. Me, I do politics analysis with facts, dates, namiera. So even when you want to say Chabu Fitch, the facts are there. Monf, the facts are there. Now, fast forward. These issues of Nyaure 2023 were happening. 3 years later, last year, Chanda Nonde was arrested. Mundubile was warned and cautioned. They didn't arrest him. They did not arrest him. About why UPNG started fronting Mundubile. And I came here and I said, you know, the worst mistake we can do in our country is have a fake opposition on the ballot paper. That I said. And I'll continue saying it. Where we have a situation of the Tanzanian situation and the Rwanda situation where opposition that are there are sponsored by those that are in government. Woman, that's the worst. That's not democracy. That's a fake democracy. We need real competition where the opposition give Baka in the Ishima a good run. So that, but we don't just need that kind of opposition. We also need opposition with integrity. Opposition that will stand by what they mean. First, let me commend actually KBF. I don't know what you think about. I don't know much about KBF. But at least when KBF makes a decision, it sticks to its decision. Why am I saying so? KBF saw what was happening in Tonse. And he has not gone back. He's literally made a decision of coming out of Tonse. I don't know him. I don't know him as a politician. But one thing I can say is that he made a decision and he had the guts to stick to that decision. And that must be recommended. Wonderful. Because he knew to say what is happening in Tonse is illegal. So if what is happening in Tonse is illegal, clearly, you don't want to associate yourself with illegalities. You don't say, I cannot associate myself with illegalities. The next day, you're the first person to associate yourself with illegalities. It doesn't work like that. You have to practice what you preach. Mammon. So, when KBF came out of Tonse, when he saw what was happening in Tonse and the Mingalato, KBF has stuck to his guns. Mammon. He has stuck to his guns and that must be recommended. For me, I'm being fair. It must be recommended because whether you are insulted, whether you lose 1,000 people, whether you lose 2,000 followers, your principle is your principle. Do not lose yourself because 2,000 people are going to insult you. You're going to have to stick to what you believe in. You cannot lose yourself, especially as a leader. If you have certain beliefs, certain policies, even if that particular policy is not popular, if you believe this is the right thing to do, then do it. But don't play to the gallery. And I don't like leaders that play to the gallery so that when you want it. No! A leader must be precise. A leader must be a leader. A leader must show that my leadership, what I bring, is different. You can come along or you can remain behind. That for me is the quality of a leader. Mama, Sean Tembo is another example. Because Sean Tembo Chris Zuma. When Sean Tembo realized that Chris Zuma is duping him, he went quietly out of Tonse and did not utter a word. He moved out. Mama. Because the thing that they stood for became different. Mind you, Sean Tembo was one of the person that said Mundubile must take over Tonse. But when he realized who he was, Sean Tembo quietly left Tonse before even Mundubile can take over. So, what am I saying? You as opposition, you need to be honest with the Zambian people. And you need to tell the Zambian people to say, and if you Zambians vote for me, I will protect this, I'll protect it. This system of trying to windwig Zambians while you're trying to fake unity. Like John Sangwa said. But John Sangwa, you should say, it's hard for oppositions to unite. It is true it's hard for them. Because and for me, with Makebi, me supporting Makebi, I have to be real with him. Mama, as somebody who supports Makebi, I have to be real. I have to tell him the truth. I have to show him to say, this path that you are walking on, ECO tried walking this path. And look where ECO landed. Surely, do you really want to walk this path such that you have seen where this path leads? Mama, I think if you care about someone, if you really understand that where this person I'm supporting is going, you have to tell them. And it's up to them to what? Take it or leave it. I told you that in all you want to Mama. But I have to be honest to say, I think this is a wrong move and I think you can do better with this. But again, I'm not forcing anyone to take what I'm saying as the absolute truth. What I'm saying is that look at this in this angle, but if you think that what you're looking at is the correct thing, then by all means go with that. But for me, I also have my own belief. And if you dare do that, I will bless you. You will go with my blessings, but I will remain where I stand. Mama, I think that's how you help a leader. You don't help a leader if it's by you PNG liking HH. Oh, Mr. President. Oh, you don't. That's why HH has failed. Because they're scared to tell him the truth. That's why he has dribbled himself and found himself that he has not done the convention. And the Mingarato is now backfiring to him. A leader must be told to say, and you don't need to be afraid of telling a leader. You need to tell the leader the truth. And if a leader then makes a decision, and that decision turns out to be a wrong decision, then he has himself to blame. But you would have told the leader the truth. I think if we started doing that in our country, we are building a better Zambia. And every leader, whether I support that leader, has to be checked. It is within our constitutional right to check that leader. It is within it is your constitutional right. If you want to check me, you can check me. If you want to insult me, I've given Well, Benalidian never pressing the monopoly to insult me. Because I am a leader. Whether you like it or not, I rise above and beyond. I am a leader. So I've given them the monopoly to insult me. And I take in those insults. Because I want to show you that in as much as I take in those insults, I will still be their leader. Including those that insult me. But again, I have to be a leader that stands to my guns. Even if it means losing 2,000 people. Mind you, we were not here. The time we started, we had 5 people watching. So even if I remain with 10 people watching, at least I would have known to say, these people believe in my cause. And they are genuine people. And with time, when things start unfolding like the way things have unfolded in regard with Munyauri and Babran Mundubile and Chandanundi, people will realize to say, hang on a minute. That woman was actually saying the truth. Whilst we saw it as her being bitter, whilst we didn't see it, at least she saw it. And this woman will come and say, I told you so, but I am your leader. I will embrace you. Because I want to lead this country one day. Accountability and transparency. Thank you so much for that comment. But that's what we need in our country. And you are not exceptional. Any leader must be accountable to the type of leadership that they are bringing in our country. And just because you support a leader doesn't mean you don't hold them responsible. No. And I want people who support Makebi to hold Makebi responsible. That's when we are going to create a good president. But if we don't, then we are not holding a good president. I can see Vamao Samp has joined. You're welcome. Vamao Samp, how many times have I castigated Vamao Samp? And I still stand on it. Because every leader must be checked. That's why we provide checks and balances. And if it means you being insulted for doing something that is right, be ready to take in those insults. Chair is a bitch. It won't be shown. The only thing that I said, and I'm going to quote this from Makebi, is like slander is a tool for what? He said something about slander is a tool of what? Slander is a tool for fools. Because when you lose an argument, you what? You join to slander. Someone says, I'm telling you I'm hurt for learning that Mundubile was the one sponsoring the page. You can be hurt. But I told you so. And I wasn't lying. I totally was not lying. I was saying the truth. The truth was known by Brand Mundubile, by Chandanonde, and some of the people surrounding Brian Mundubile, they know about this truth. But they don't want to account to the truth. They want to pretend. But the truth has its way of revealing itself. And if you are not the type of leader that will bring the truth to the Zambian people, then I don't think you are the type of leader Zambians are looking for. At the end of the day, it is not the politicians that vote. At the end of the day, it's the poor people that vote. And it's the people that have to endure another 5 years of wallowing in poverty. So me, I stand with the people of Zambia, including those that insult me. Because probably they're insulting me because they don't have the information that I have. They're speaking from the ignorant point of view. So you can excuse those people that insult. Because what they have is information on the surface. What they have is something that they see from afar. But those that have, and those that understand to say, the information that I have is this. You have a duty to tell the people of Zambia the truth. So for me, I excuse people that insult because They probably insulting from the ignorance point of view where they don't understand what is going on. Mama. Now, I'm ending with this. I will never insult back. Never. Never. My receipts. Never. Because I'm reducing myself to their level and you won't see the difference. Mama, look at the things that I've said with receipts and everything and everything and everything. I've not lied. I've told you the dates. You understand? And that's where I stand. Mama. So, here's the gist. No, I will not shut up. You cannot tell me to shut up on my own platform, of which you have come to watch. Mama. You're telling me to shut up because what is coming is something that's going to scare the Mundubile supporters. What I'm about to say must shake the Mundubile supporters. Because from what I've said, all this that I've said, there's something big that I'm about to say. In my analytical sense, and the way I've looked at about Munyaule, what was said, Kukia, Kudia, and what exactly have charged Brian Mundubile, I can tell you one thing. I can tell you one thing. What is happening will shake you guys. Because this must be heard. Tell your politicians, even. Because I want to tell you now what I see. I want to tell you what my analytical mind. Ampuli fire. Somebody say ampuli. Somebody say fire. Because we are about to amplify. We are about to amplify. What? Ako yani pamulu. Ba honest. Mwachero imota mwachiba kale mu tamuishira kale mwachiba ku. Ampuli fire. Ajupian is crying in secret too. Ampuli fire. Ngana put ampuli fire. Elonga na panga na this yaso. Indayumva no kuyumva. Indatema no kutema. Garamba kutema ni shnaisha tapana kaika. Apana kaika pa. Mwamva. Indayumva analysis ngana ipanga ine indayumva mumbili. Ine from brains. Ya inde futi ya fumo yakwera. Eparasa punet ampuli fire. Mwamva ampuli fire. Umuntu ma ampuli, umuntu ma fire. Mwaye mwana. Niko tipa cheya. Precious, I see you. Precious, I see you. Let's go aba. God has his way of revealing things. Magabi said Edgar Chagwadungu has refused to go down in the grave until the truth must be told. That's what Magabi said. Here we are today. Brian Mundubile and Chandalondi were behind Munyaule page. Amplify. Edgar Chagwadungu has refused to go down the grave before the truth is known. You thought my words. Amplify. And therefore I'm going to 1,000. Edgar Chagwadungu has refused to go down the grave. The truth must be. You cannot use his name. You cannot use Edgar Chagwadungu's name after betraying him. It shall not happen. It shall not happen. Udeompashi wabalungu tempashi ujawe yawi. Ni mfumu idea ala mudio mwasunga 9 months. Era wonse mukara seban. One by one. You'll be sebanary. One by one. Until the truth is known. Tuare mie. Abari pia indi munyaula abari tukabalungu nyaba. Imwati yoche yori wabu. Umupashi w'abalungu uchirule pyunga mchalo chesu icha Zambia ndemyewe chinene chinka. Before taturashika lepo bakalala balungu chalo chikatenka. Kwa tapapalale mfumu. For now, he's fighting. Believe all you need, all you want. Umupashi w'abalungu walishupa. Who could have known that before we bury President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, Brian Mundubile, Chanda Nondi, have been said to be the one aiding Munyaule Page? Who could have known that the truth such as this will come out? 9 months in the morgue, and you want to ride on his legacy. You want to ride on his name. You think he pashita shidala. You think he pashita shimona. Ndeko balala balungu rekeni washinshu mkompashi waburekeni upyunge. Mukala bana one by one. You think you will ride on his legacy. After kuba takata. You takata him. Today you want to say Edgar chose this one. Edgar that alienated himself from Mundubile, as well as Stephen Kampiongo when they went to South Africa. Today, you want to ride on his legacy and you think his spirit is happy. You think his spirit is happy. Life is spiritual. Edgar Chagwa Lungu has refused to go down the grave without the truth being known. Here's the truth. Who was behind Munyaule Page? By UPND via Suka. Mundubile and Chanda Nondi. Then everyone just weekend yo. Niva UPND. But let me tell you why UPND have gone for brand Mundubile. I will tell you. According to my analytical, says Shalanda you 1,000. Because this is big. But honest, that I have failed to join him because the spirit of ECL is with me. He has refused to go down the grave until the truth must be told. One by one, you wanted to fake, oh, we are popular. Hey, haka in the H-Lema, Shikutina in yo, haka in the H-Lema, Shikutina, oh, Dungumpashule Temba. You are going to ride on my legacy? When I was alive, you never even spoke of me in such authority. When I was alive, you couldn't even see my suffering. You hid like I never had, members of parliament. You alienated yourselves from me. Who else saw Mundubile to speak with so much authority during Edgar Chagwa Lungu's victimization? Today we saw Haka in the Ichirema, Shukutina Idayo, Haka in the Ichirema, what power can do? Amplifier. Shukutina in the Ichirema. With so much authority, I looked, I said, Edgar Chagwa, you were surrounded by vipers, my dear president. But your legacy, your truth will be known. Will carry on your legacy. Eligibility, they left him alone. Nobody spoke about the eligibility. This poor girl, this young girl remained alone, begged these people, left, right, and center, please, let's protect Edgar. Please stand up for his eligibility. And nobody paid attention. Nobody heard what I was preaching. I begged and begged and begged on behalf of Edgar Chagwa Lungu. And nobody, everybody was deaf. I spoke for Edgar Chagwa Lungu with conviction. I spoke for his eligibility with conviction. I spoke and stood for Edgar Chagwa Lungu when it was not fashionable. When they left him, I spoke. I stood alone. I begged and begged and begged and begged. And it all fell on deaf ears. And when he died, they come and they said, Edgar Chagwa Lungu ni nebo ashile. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Awa maliri afwa. Isi ya nalimiewe na tunanguenga fwa. Isi lives. His immortal. His legacy. And that body that lies in South Africa in the cold, his spirit lingers on. You cannot ride on your same my MPs. You cannot ride on Edgar Chagwa Lungu's legacy after you alienated yourselves from him. When he needed you the most, you are like you never existed. Lelo awane Chagwa. Lelo Chagwa wanme. Mwakala sebana. One by one. Now I'm going to say this. The reason UPND have gone for Mundubile is that Mundubile has fallen out with HH. That is my analytical mind. And HH, like I say, HH has got no loyalty. HH will come for you when he sees that you've betrayed him. That is, HH is not stupid. HH is the president of the Republic of Zambia. He has information. I'm never HH ni shushu number shani. Is shushu number what? 1. HH is what? Shushu number what? 1. Now listen. This is for big brains. That's why I don't deal with shallow minds. Because in an inch time, both of you are in the game. Ninji tamba game vis-a-vis. Awan Shanwe. Shanwe Abraham le kanfi sopolole mwa ichawanda Abraham. Le kanfi kakaule. Ameshna la no inapotu wine le tanga na puisha life. Na la chimura tu wine mwa ichawanda. Abraham. Shanwa menshi. Le kandanda pari ediga. Le kan mushinshi munetata once. Le kafie mfi pase. Imbewe na masa potaz. Efe wa HH wa ikati na balu. Mundubile. HH told you is what? Shushu number what? HH does not play. No. I know exactly HH's method of operation. Wait, upon amplifier. I mean Shishan. That what Sanga told us is exactly the information that landed on HH's desk. And that's why the people that followed Mundubile were the OP. Now this information came from my UPN Jabeni. No matter what, the big brains. Ichiwongo chala piamo pen. Gacha piamo pen chisa chibure maka chifshira uri. Eno chisa chiwele la kunu manomba. Gacha sisa wele la kunu machasa sa. Why did they not arrest him there and there? Why now? My intuitions tells me that Mundubile was doing double dealing. For me, my intuitions tells me like it looks like Mundubile was doing double dealings. And he was going to be smart for HH. And HH, being the shushu number 1, discovered that Mundubile was going behind his back. Even them, this is what my analytical mind, given what has happened, because there is absolutely no way Chandanonde was arrested regarding Munyauri. Chandanonde came out and nobody spoke of that case. But you know, HH is good. He shelves things. You have something against you. That's why when you go into a deal with HH, you are digging yourself. He's not the kind of guy you could nunya. He's not the kind of guy you could go in a deal with and think you come out and he will let you be. That's not HH. HH, you agree on something, stick to it. If you dare go the other way, he will come for you. if you don't know who HH is, and HH knows who betrayed ECL. He knows exactly the people that betrayed ECL. In fact, HH respects my guts than any of you politicians that go and eat from his palms, because he knows to say, if you can betray Edgar Chagwalungu, you can also betray him. But HH respects people like me because he knows at least she stands on something. HH of Wamba, you don't talk about Nangu Nachuva and Chintu. Eh? He'll stick to his guns. Mamona. He respects people with principles. That's why he respects Makebi Zulu in some way. Because Makebi Zulu stood with Edgar Chagwalungu. Mamfoka. Unless you're in a fire Makebi, maybe. Mamona. HH respects people like me. HH does not respect people that when he throws a bone at you, you go and sing him praises. He knows to say you are a traitor. Don't think HH is stupid. That man is very smart. Mamfoka. And she's dirty to watch. Her lips like pig. You don't want to show that my pigs now. You wash kumbwa monaf. And then it be on Angulande. If you think that, because my lips are very kissable. Now my HH are very itchy. My lips are kissable lips. Let's go to the nitty-gritties. And identity formula is very good, yes. HH knows who the traitors are. HH knows the people that betrayed Edgar Chagwalungu. And he has no respect for such people. Because he understands to say, if they can betray Edgar Chagwalungu, they can also betray me. He understands that perfectly well. So don't think when you go into these deals with HH, and you are dealing, you are now becoming his favorite. No. At that particular time, you are serving a purpose that he wants to achieve something. The moment you do that, you discard you. So for me, my analytical mind is telling me, what Vatsanga revealed could appear is what was on HH's table. That's why the OP were the one that followed Mundubile. It's what the Shushushu number one got. And for the Shushushu number one, who's an incumbent and finds out that a former Republican president is in talks with this guy who he has made a deal with, do you know what HH thinks? HH realizes this guy is doing double and is betraying me. And therefore, HH will come for you. He might not come for you because it's very controversial if he charges you to say you have been speaking to a former Republican president of DRC, or an opposition leader in DRC, or a chief for that matter, or some business guy, because you are allowed to speak to these people. And you'll be seen by international. If it raged to say, Mundubile has been charged for treasonous offenses because he was speaking to former Republican president of DRC, Joseph Kabila, the international media will now portray HH as a dictator, going after oppositions. But HH is smart. Now me, I'm smart. Me, I can see. Mama. So HH thinks, if I do this, all the countries will put the eyes on what is happening inside Zambia. So I will not charge it. What is the fish of watchtower that we have evidence for that we can charge him with? Because he's going behind my back. And they retrieve something. If you watch because you've gone behind HH, HH has gone back and retrieved that case. It's the same thing that happened to Dr. Chitaru Chirufya with the Annie B case. You know, Basta shelve any big case. I even told Basta Ruchurufa to say, your case has been shelved. It can be retrieved anytime soon. Basta Ruchurufa went. Praising Waaka in the Ichidem. Something happened, he didn't do accordingly. They said the Annie case is coming up. Mamonaka? And that's what happened. So my analytical mind is telling me there's something that Brand Mundubile has done to HH. Either he has gone behind HH, and HH being the Shushu number one, is discovered to say he's been talking to these people for his political escapade. And HS says, I cannot arrest him based on talking to these people because it will be wrong. And every international media who have eyes on what is exactly happening in our country. But then I have something that I've shelved. What is it? Oh, he did seditious and cybercrime practices. We arrested one of his guys. So let's give him that. Let's give him that. And that's what they've slapped Mundubile with. And he's not going to drop it. Trust me, HH will not drop that charge. He's going for Mundubile. Newsflash! That is what's going to happen. Even with my supporters. That is what's going to happen. He's not going to drop it. Because as far as HH is concerned, Brian has betrayed HH. So kudabacha ipompa ba Brian kudia. Kuipompa kudia. He knows deep down what he has done. Shushu number one is aware. Whether you say it's useless or not, Tieni tupingem. Tieni tupingem. Tieni tupingem. You think it's a joke? Or you think I'm making these things up? Eh? Who arrests somebody for talking to the chief? Who arrests somebody for talking to a former Republican president? Who arrests somebody from talking to another opposition leader in the country? Who? Why arrest somebody for something that they did? You let them go for 1 year, and then you bring it up and say, cybersecurity crime. Who? HH has seen that BM grew big-headed and went behind HH's back. Shushu number one, tepano. Ngwisalea, ngwesheni. Kumupera sedisha si tuala monekera. Finsha chitefia rubana, nifi. Oh, mupere hate speech. President was said about hate speech. And they're going to escalate this. And somebody will be convicted. If he doesn't be convicted, he has to make another deal. A deal that will be even worse. That will ensure that HH gets victory. That will ensure that HH... There's only two things. Either he goes in or he makes a terrible deal. And you guys ride along with him. But I can guarantee you that our Shushu number one has got Brian Mundubile on his palms. That is the truth. And the blind followers are busy kikiri. But you need to understand how HH operates. You need to understand that HH understands that those that betrayed ECO can also betray him. And if he finds out that you are betraying him, especially that he's so desperate right now, he will come for you. HH has got no loyalty. HH has got no loyalty. One for abantu barwara mara bama byokura postage post. You are here at 1.1 get are making noise. Ngata fire panga sense ra tu bombeko. Ina shile mtinya shile mieva. I am an analyst and I'm telling you what exactly transpired between Mairo Darero, marrying it with Munyaule, as well as what? Given the charge that has been given, when there are people told us to say the reason he's being interrogated is because he was speaking to these people. So, if you want to be Batoma Mufibala, be my guest. But I will not stop speaking. I will continue to speak, analyze the situation of our country. Whether you are nanikane, you are not nanikane. Inekulanda. That's why I exist. Amplify. This is Munyauli. Oh, before yeah, to aranga nufutabaranga up. Wait. Jesus. This is Munyaure page. This is Mama Esther and Edgar Chagwalungu. Okay? They posted about it. This is Munyaure page. And on this one, Munyaure defended talked about Baaka in the Ichirima. If you want to understand, Munyaule was insulting both by ECL, now Baaka in the Ichirima. That's why they've got all these with them. Listen to what Munyaule posted. While Chuns is busy impregnating Chipo Mwanawasa, if for ECL and madam, real men stick to one wife. That's why I was asking questions. Where does Munyaule stand? I used to question, one day is attacking Balungu, the next day is attacking Baaka in the Ishima. So who runs this page? So, my brothers and sisters, you can insult all you want, be my guest. You can do whatever you want, be my guest. But the truth must be told, and the truth shall be told. Edgar Chagwarungu has refused to go down the grave without the truth being told. You cannot ride on Edgar Chagwalungu's legacy and think his spirit will let you. Life is spiritual. Whatever I've said here, you can take it or you can leave it. Whatever warnings I've sent to Makebi, he can take it or he can leave those warnings. It's up to him. I don't force people to say, believe me, take what I say as a gospel truth. If you have time, search for Munyaule page, look at their post. The page is still there. Look at their post. Come to this video, watch it, listen, ask yourselves, watch the videos of yesterday, why they said those things and why Mundubile has been charged with such a charge. Now, 3 years later, and 1 year after arresting his man, Chandanonde, who apparently in my WhatsApp blogs used to say, I've gone crazy, who used to say, I'm lying against him. So, is UPND lying against Chandanonde? Are the police lying against Chandanonde and Brian Mundubile? And why the charge now? What is it that Shushushu number 1 has discovered that has made him act in the manner he has acted? This has been your girl, your one and only, Beverley Kunda Mo. Chair the voice of Zambia. Zambia's top analyst. Ichibiongo Munchende. One woman commando. It's been very good interacting with you guys. It's been very good having a lot of people watching this live, because that's what I intended to have. At least 1,000+ people watching. Given a lot of people are live, it shows you the kind of analysis that I gave. I pat even myself on the back. Insults are insults. It's part of what I do. It's not something I dwell on. I've been insulted. Otherwise, I'm still Ichibiongo. The Kedimilange shape face, by the way. in case you think that apana alina no kuina because oro na afieri but na mfena apiru bukafe kum off mon. So you cannot bring Ichibiongo down because shape fie mona shape fie inefe eka fe kukulondorera fie atini soup wamona. So you cannot, like I always say, I'm a very narikwata, I'm a tapo narikwata. I mean, what can you ask for? You understand? So when you insult me like that, it's really ridiculous. It's not something that I dwell on because I go in the mirror. There's one woman in America, right? She's an actress. There's something that she says, which I'm going to do right now. It's very fun. She goes like, I wake up, I brush my teeth, and I roll forward. I look into the mirror and I go, you pretty bitch. And that's what I've started doing. And she says, so I stand in the mirror, Chiyongo. What kind? Eh? You cannot. Eh? I'm a vera want bare pompe shama vere inaya ni nacho. Why mo? Eh? Nacho lo so bakambale sa kupera chitampura nfe maberechi. Eh? Abantu bari amupompeshi. Amatako abantu bari amutungisha nyereti. Ine na alikwata nacho. Apanga namba no pia kujimu idindeza kune aggression. Nara pango mubiri. Pausu mkese mbona nomba vis-a-vis. Era mkese nande crash na bright video ya re chufia ni chibiongo. Why mo? Aba nara ingira gym. Snatch waist, ama tako out, ama vera kuntanshi. Era mkese nomba na high heel wili so. Nkaka kena buff. Nkaka yako nakura kuzambia mubika ama makeup ya ama profession. Era mkese era samo igogo. Era mkese ikara so. Pa integration yako ama kebi. Like this. Mwai mwanaka. Era mkese itoro mafira ka andi kakese nkopa foto. Imwe. Mukafi mwana kwa shikwa vitu nturimwe. Nechi musungu chanji pa side up. Nacho nachila sa suti. Mushimuka tamba wino imwe. Ichi musungu nacho chili pa side. Imwe. Ala muna yumfuirosi. Nice. I know how to wait, let me do this. Let me first start. Okay, now the tumba. Now I'm from Okia. We want more. You push on this is fresh. I got this morning. Wait. Never go with the directors. Now I ain't get up eh? Around the snatch of movie, my name on a face and a pango movie. Urufuma kuya. Nana ingira na samba ma pranks. Na samba ma, you know, waist workouts. Flat pamala so kwa tinshafia. Era na chita ama squats. Ama takona yo yafuma. Imwe. Sala neseka. Nesuna kona pepa. Ngana chaya ama squats. Mwamva. Ama takona yo yafuma. Ibere dila shalanga na onda. Even na fishing mkesa mbona ku integration ya kwa ama kebinga nice. Guiding days. Ngeza na chumusungu. Mwamva. Ngeza na chumusungu. So mfweni. Apana la ingira mjimu. Because mwambelesha sana. Muna yema inaza akiri bitch. Tumwambele mwa trainer tulingana. So I have to go in the gym because the engine I'm not tulingana. No. I have to go in the gym. So when you say this ugly bitch, this is what I do. I look at myself. I look in the mirror. I look at my boobs. I say, God, you must have spent time on me. Then I lean forward and I go, Then I step backward and I say, you pretty bitch. And then I go, bitch, you good. Bitch, you pretty. Bitch, that can bring you down. Bitch, big bitch. And I move on with my life and my day. But when I come to the inauguration, amplifier Joe Bar, I'll be snatched. Because what you're seeing right now, yes, you're seeing I'm a hip and whatnot, but I've got a bit of time because I gave birth. But we are going to snatch this tummy. Okay? We are going to snatch this tummy and we're going to pop our asses out. We're going to squat, baby. And then when I come to the inauguration, I'm going to wear a heel like that. I'm going to wear a bodycon dress that makes sure that all my figures pop out. And I'm going to sit like this, like a queen. And I'm going to do like this. And when I do like that, my husband will be sat next to me. And Andy Luke Jr. will be there with his cameras pointing at us. And people will be saying, share the voice of Zambia. And when that moment comes, when I shall speak, when I shall ask you guys to raise the placards of Edgar Chagwalungu, you will see my actual figure on the videos, on the cameras, on your TV stations. So you cannot bring me down, bitch! Anyway, enough of the nonsense. Thank you so much for everybody that has joined in. Don't let anyone lower your self-esteem. I was saying all this nonsense, Kuma last, because I want to encourage you. Don't let anyone, and I mean anyone, lower your self-esteem. You are beautiful. You are intelligent. Just like God made you. So whenever you feel like you're not enough, tell yourself, in the mirror, and tell yourself, you pretty bitch. Do not let anyone lower your self-esteem. This has been your girl, Chair the Voice of Zambia, Zambia's top political analyst. Love you always, and I will stand by you all the time. God bless you. God bless Zambia, and love yourself. Love yourself to your fullest. When I want them ever. God bless you. Good night. Ichibiongo signing out. What I got you. The telephone kuya 600 again in there. We want to wide la. Babupe. Share komkwai. And I want you ladies to love yourself. Blessed night Bakapia. Love yourself. Even you men, love yourself. Value yourself. No one should ever bring you down. Never. Mwamuna. Be blessed. Be blessed. Chair loves you. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you. Because I don't take you guys for granted. But I hope come 13th of August 2026, you lot are going to make a better decision on who you vote for. Come 2026, the 13th of August. And I'll be here giving you all the events, taking you back to 2021, bringing you up here, and narrate how things are unfolding. God bless you. God bless Zambia. Good night.